1. Now proceeding on, I'll be teaching you about comparative and superlative adjectives. So as we all know, adjectives are, to put it in simple terms, right, are words used to describe things. So for example, if you want to say someone is very tall, then like tall would be the adjective. But then when we have multiple people to come into play, right? Like we have like more than one person, we would need to use things like comparative and superlative adjectives to sort of like compare these multiple people. As in like let's say we want to compare whoever is taller, then we need to use this comparative adjective. So the rule for comparative adjective is very simple. It's either we add er behind of the adjective. So like let's say tall, then it becomes taller. But for terms that we cannot add er behind this particular adjective, right, we would sort of have to use the word more in front of that adjective. So like the example over here that I use is interesting. It is weird or wrong to use interestinger by adding er behind the word interesting, right? So the general rule for this is to use more interesting behind the adjective interesting. So like the example given here is like this book is more interesting than that one. So for superlative adjective, we are trying to say that this person is the best at something. So the general rule is to either add est behind your adjective or use the word most for circumstances or words that you cannot add est behind it. So the example here, same example, right, as to like how tall it becomes tallest. So the example here is she is the tallest in the class. Or like for a word that you cannot add est behind, like interesting, you use the word most interesting. So like this is the most interesting book in the library. So moving on to the next slide is like we have certain
Mr.
adjectives.
Chin,
Yes,
I have a question. If
yes.
my friend and I, we are comparing who is taller. Okay, let's say I am taller. Can I use I am tallest? I am the tallest. If that
Um,
is just friend and I.
All right, to answer your question, right? For two people, right, you cannot use tallest. You need to use taller. So like, when you're comparing two people, it's like I am taller than my friend. But then let's say today, Ishan, right? When there are three people, Ishan, Adam, and perhaps Ali. All right. So like you can say Ishan is the tallest among Adam and Ali when there are three people in this scenario. So like generally that's how you go about it. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chin.
All right. Now let's proceed to like how, because in sometimes English, the grammatical rules that are pre-existing is a bit complex. So like we have a bit of like irregular adjectives. So let's say we have good. This good, right? You cannot say the comparative form for good is gooder, and then the superlative form for good is goodest. So like generally the general rule would apply, but for certain irregular adjectives like good, right, the comparative form would be better and that the superlative form would be best. So like the example I given you, right? Like today is better than yesterday, or like this is the best day ever. So just a very quick example over here is like the comparative form for fast is like John is faster than Peter, and the superlative form of fast is fastest. So John is the fastest runner in school. Now, proceeding, let's do a quick exercise, right? So what I want you to do is just to read it out for me, the sentences, and for the blanks, right, I want you to find the most suitable adjective that we have, and then just tell me whether what's the comparative form or superlative form. So basically just give me the answer. So I already have an example up there. It's like my mom has always been the worst cook. So could you please proceed from there?
Everything she makes tastes more gooder than anything you have ever tasted.
All right. So for this one, right, actually the correct answer I already taught you just now, right, is that everything she makes tastes better than anything you have ever tasted.
Oh, better. Okay,
Yeah, it's
okay.
better. All right.
She spent more time in the kitchen out of everyone in our family. Do
Uh,
I?
yeah, sorry to stop you there, right, but it's because uh we are saying that your mom is the worst cook. So she would be the one that a correction on the previous part is that everything she makes tastes worse than anything you have ever tasted. So the worst would be spelled in WORSE, worse than anything you have ever tasted. So if you want to say
Oh,
that my mom, the food that she makes tastes better in the positive form, it will be better. But then because of like how this whole excerpt is on saying that your mom is a terrible cook, so it's in the negative way. So like it's tastes worse, WORSE, than anything you've ever tasted. And uh to sort of imply that your mom is a terrible cook, you need to say she spends the least time in the kitchen out of everyone in our family. Uh,
okay, okay, Mr. Chin, I'll keep that in mind.
all right, so shall we proceed?
Her soup is my least favorite thing to eat in the world. It has chicken that is.
Can you try at like make an attempt at this?
It has chicken that is. Can I put mm, less tasty than my shoes?
I don't think you can say less tasty because generally we don't eat shoes, right? So I think
Oh,
the what I would suggest over here is that it has chicken that is harder than my shoes because of like how shoes we have very hard
other.
soles. So like my mom is a terrible cook. So like the chicken that she cooked is like extremely hard. You cannot chew it. It's very hard for you to swallow or devour it. So like you could say it has chicken that is harder than my shoes.
Hmm. The vegetables taste. Hmm. The vegetable taste blender than the ones that grow in our garden. I want to learn to cook better than my mom. I will go to the best the best cooking school in the nation. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. Because you want to be a better cook than your mom, so you would go to the best cooking school in the nation to be the best chef ever, and that's like how you would beat your mom in becoming a better cook.
Oh, okay. I continue. Everyone will say that my dishes are better than all the other restaurants in the world.
Yeah,
I
correct.
will be the best chef in the universe.
All right, yeah, that's correct. A very good attempt. So very
Thank you.
quickly, yeah. Do you have any questions?
Um, it is very hard for me to decide better and best. Sometimes it is a bit confusing.
Okay, so here's the tip that we have, right? That I have for you. So, uh, in instances where you have to use the word better or in a comparative form, generally, as I said just now, we are comparing two things. So you could see that in front of the adjective, you would have the word than over here. Like you see over here, we have the word than. And like then I want to
Okay.
learn to cook better than my mom. So when you're talking about like how you want to use best, right? Or like your superlative form of adjective, then it's something that you're saying that something is the most or the least. So like you're talking about like the best cooking school in the nation. So like you wouldn't have like the best then cooking school in the nation. You would generally put the word the and then your superlative form of adjective, the best cooking school of in the nation. Or like I will be the best chef in the universe. I hope that answers your question. Do you have any further questions?
Oh, and also for positive terms, we use better and best. For the negative terms, I know uh, the superlative is the least, but what do you call the comparison
Uh,
for them?
the comparative form for the word least, is it LEAST, least, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll just use text over here. Give me a sec. Uh, uh, Lesser. The comparative form for least is lesser. So if you want to
Okay.
talk about bad, let's say it's bad, right? The comparative form is worse. WORSE. So like let's say you want to say my results are worse than my friend. You use this worse. But if you want to use it in the superlative form, like let's say I want to say my results are the worst in my class, then it's WORST.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chin.
All right, so I hope that answers your question. Do you have any further questions?
No.
All right, so yeah, let's stop it at there then.